Happy New Year. Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm excited to show you my collection that I've accumulated over the past year. I know I've shown you these other collections, but some of these are new figures. So what I really try and start doing is just collecting really the ones that I want or don't have, or a variation of the same figure, but it's in a moment that, time in wrestling history where it represents something to me in childhood, or just something that I really wanted to keep. So you can see here, some of these are different. Some you will notice that I've had before, just because they stand the test of time as far as being the best figures that Mattel has come up with of that wrestler so far. For the 2019, this is my collection. Let's get started. Well, before we do that, actually, let's just look at the layout of the display shelves. So essentially what I did was I got the LED strips, $5 here in my local Walmart. Kind of ran them through there up top, as you can see. I have the LED light controller here, so that's pretty awesome because you can change the colors settings, and I kind of ran them at the very each bottom of the shelf. You can see that with the bottom one as well, so it runs all the way down the bottom, which we'll get to. So kind of the way that I kind of covered it up was cut this black cardboard and post it on the side right there, so that way you can't see like the controllers or whatever it may be, but you can kind of you can see right there in that corner what I'm referring to are the wires. Essentially I need to cover that up there as well, and then we'll grab the controller here so you can see how it changes. So here's the controller. This one controls everything. So we can actually change all the color settings. We can change it to different strobes or flash or fade as well if we want to. But I felt like, let me get the camera zoom in there. No, I won't zoom in, but just to give you a demonstration, we'll go to strobe. So what I like about that is it kind of changes the colors. It looks pretty awesome once all the lights are off, and it just kind of shows the show figures themselves. But also another thing it does is that it brings out, for example, the colors of the actual figures. Some reflect more vibrant than others as far as being able to see them. The colors bouncing off from the LEDs. But yeah, so that was my case. And then also what I did was kind of try to organize them as far as their era. Except for Rikishi that he lost, the era, the time, and then if they have any stables or groups that they belong to, I kind of put that. You'll see them, the NWO, biggest one, DX, and red and black NWO. Of course, WCW, can't miss them. So I'm still working on the labels at the bottom here. You notice the labels are only 3 in the top. I'm gonna work my way down here. All right, so that was kind of the showcase. So we'll change it back to white, so that way it gives you a better view. I have the remote in my pocket here as well, and then we'll start from the top with the NWO now. So here's the NWO. Some of these are older Toy Biz figures that I have that were NWO. I do have some of the current ones as far as I think Ringside Exclusive did make a Macho Man, but we'll start off from left to right. So we have, of course, Big Sexy, Kevin Nash, the Outsiders, got Stinger. I know that isn't his Wolfpack one. I do have that in box. I will show all my mock collection as well, so be on the lookout for that video. But this is Stinger's red, so I figured it matches there. Then we got Scott Hall, the Outsider as well. We got another Sting that I got, which is red with the black trench coat with the red markings around it, so I'll put that there. And then we got Six Pack, X-Pac, whatever you want to call him, 1, 2, 3 Kid, but I don't know if he was ever in the Wolfpack. But he was red, so I just added him there. And then we got Macho Man Madness. So I do have him in the Ringside Exclusive. I just didn't want to take him out, so I got about a set that came with him, the Toy Biz version. So I put that in there as well. It was Kevin Nash, another one. And then you got the Eric Bischoff. So that was cool because you can really zoom in. You'll notice that his actual shirt is, let me zoom in here. his shirt is part of the NWO red and black, so that was pretty cool. And then you got the Stinger back there, another toy bid. I know he's missing his jacket. I think he came with that. I took him off. I put him on another thing. Maybe I should put him back. They got another Kevin Nash. You know, one of the things that toy bids were famous for were making the same figure but with different variants as far as clothing or even letters or something like that, or hair. See, his hair is a little bit different from this one. You can see he has more of that, whatever you call that, his pants in the side where he doesn't as well. So that was pretty cool. So and then we got another Stinger, the same one that you saw a minute ago. And then we'll move up top to another Sting here. This is the recent one. Let's build a figure. But yeah, I got by him with Lex Luger and the other ones. And then another Stinger here. This is actually not the defining moment one. That jacket just came with another accessories that I bought. But I added on him because it goes good with him as well. Can't really tell. And then we got Hollywood Hulk Hogan. There's an NWO version. You can see the top of his head right there. Fits right in. I think he's missing a shirt actually. But in any case, that is my NWO Wolfpack collection. I don't know, I'm missing some of the ones that I'm really looking out for is that Conan. So I'll be looking out for him. And also missing Luger in there. I just realized that as well. So I might have to get a Luger on there to put him in there as well. But yeah, that was my NWO. So we'll move on to my DX collection, which is obviously there's not that many members, but I do have different variants of, you know, Shawn Michaels or X-Pac or Billy Gunn or Road Dogg. So I just kind of put them all together here as well. So again, we'll start from left to right. We have the Shawn Michaels. This is an awesome figure. Actually, that hat does not go with him. That's a Stone Cold hat. You see the skull on the bottom, on top there. You see the skull on top of the hat there as well. But this is an awesome figure, and I know he wears something like that as far as his outfit or hat. I think this is an awesome figure. This is an elite one. Go ahead and tell you that. So this is an elite one, as well as some of these as well as elite, as you can kind of see. But this is an elite figure. I like this cloth accessory in the hat. It is removable. I think I put it on there pretty tight though, so it won't fall off. And then we got the honorary Hornswoggle DX member. I believe I got him in when I bought most of the lot sale that I bought. He came in there, so I kept him. I didn't buy him off eBay. I was looking for him actually. Then we got the leader, the DX. This is the Walgreens exclusive. He does come with the water bottle and the sledgehammer, but that water bottle is so small that I might lose it, so I just took him out. But I did leave that sledgehammer on his hand, so you can see that as well. That's also an elite. And then we got the Billy Gunn, the Generation X shirt on him. This is a basic one, but it looks pretty cool because I bought the accessory. The shirt came with it. And then I just added it on there, so it looks pretty awesome. And then we'll move on up to China. That's the only China figure that I have. I think that's a Jax, I believe, the Ninth Wonder of the World. So that's a pretty cool figure. I think it does the job as far as being able to add the realistic of the DX stable, but also since we don't have any other figures that China will ever come up with, I think that's a good figure to have. And then we have Billy Gunn. This is an elite one, along with that little headband. That's an awesome accessory there. The headband just kind of brings out the more realistic of the DX and that shirt as well. And we have a Jax specific X-Pac. Obviously, one of the things that I didn't like about Jax were their body to ratio was unrealistic. You know, they made Rey Mysterio same size as Big Show, so X-Pac huge here. You know, he wasn't that big. It was that size there. So here's we have an accurate DX figure here. This is an elite along with the DX shirt and his tongue sticking out. He did that a lot. I think that's why they had many variants of him with his tongue sticking out as well. And then moving up top, another Jax DX. I believe this was a double pack with Shawn Michaels, I believe. But what I liked about this one is that it came with the army pants, you know, when they're invading WCW. So that's awesome. And then moving on, we'll have the Road Dogg Jesse James. Is basic, but the shirt there is awesome. It's the Outlaws. kind of pretty cool. So I kept it. And then we have another DX Jax Triple H, the D-Generation X shirt, which is X Punk on there, which is a pretty cool shirt. So I kind of added it on there as well. And then we have, this is a ringside exclusive, I believe, Jax Pacific, Shawn Michaels DX. I think we've gotten this in another variant from Mattel. I do have that as well, but this is awesome. It's all complete set, the outfit. So I just kept it like that and put it on the DX display. And then we'll move right up to another Billy Gunn, same Billy Gunn that had the bottom, except he don't have his gear, his hat that says the Generation X on it. And this is a Road Dogg. This is an Elite Road Dogg as well, so that's awesome that I was able to find all those shirts as well. By the way, those accessory shirts that I have here, this is a nice Triple H. I do order them on eBay. I try to find like a lot. When I say lot, it's L-O-T, that individual selling them, say a bunch of accessories, so that way I can really use them. I try to avoid buying them individually because they're expensive. People selling them $6-7 a shirt. So if I could buy them in a whole, 50 or 40 piece accessories, I prefer that. So that way you get a very different variant that you could try on to put on other figures. Or if you have what I have, which is an arena, which I'll show you that video as well, you could add them to your crowd. That's awesome. You can add them to the crowd as well. So that was my NWO and DX. So we'll move on to WCW. So here's the WCW section. Obviously, this is not the complete set because there was more members or figures or jobbers, whatever you want to call them. But for the most part, this is the ones that I had that I've been able to find. I normally don't go out of my way to buy an individual figure, especially a jobber or someone that wasn't big as that name, but they also contributed to a factor. Unless they really made a huge impact there as well. For example, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy Raven, but he came in a lot that included other figures, so I got that as the part of the Raven as well. Or also Billy Kidman. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy him, but I will go out of my way to buy maybe Larry Guerrero, or Macho Man up there, or just Chris Jericho in that sense. But in any case, so I am obviously missing some of the figures here that I don't have for WCW, but this is my collection, and then we'll get started here. So from left to side, we have another Sting. This is the same Sting we saw from earlier. I believe the reason why I bought two of him was that I wanted to, for that custom part that he came with, to make another figure. So I like to make customs as well, so that's why I got him. And then we have Brian Pillman. Then we have Chavo Guerrero, awesome figure. And then we have the one and only Veda Time with his mask here and the accessory that he put on there as well. I think he wore that not many times, but that's cool. They came with that accessory as well. I bought him in a lot. At first when I saw that, I didn't really know what that went to. I thought it went to the Nature Boy or Creator Figure or something, but then I looked them up, and then it does come with them, so I added that to him. And then we have the Stinger. I think that jacket actually belongs to that one of those Stings, the red NWO Sting, or one of them, but I took it off to add it to this thing as well because I didn't have a trench coat, so it looks pretty cool. And then we have Nature Boy. That is a basic, I believe, and that Nature Boy is also, I believe, the basic Build-A-Figure Nature Boy. The head scan is pretty cool. I think it covers a realistic of him as well. So one of the things that the newer basics, obviously they don't have as much articulation, or they've gone from bad to worse, is that the head scans are pretty good. So I think that's why people are still buying them, for the head scans, so they can customize them and put them on other figures as well. But if I had the opportunity just to buy just to display, I wouldn't, unless it's a figure that I didn't really have. But in other case, I would wait to buy it, an Elite. But moving on, we have Chris Jericho, the Lion Tamer. Remember him that time? He was a pretty good wrestler at that time. He was wrestling Dean Malenko or Goldberg or whoever he was. I like that face scan or face display that they put on him, capture him at that time in his career. We have a Toy Biz, the Heart Foundation, part of the members there. Hitman, the Heart, Bret the Hitman Hart. Awesome figure as well. Toy Biz. I think he's a little loose, but I think, yeah, it does the job as far as being able to add him to WCW. Then we have the Booker T. Awesome, the Harlem Heat. I don't know why they didn't make his brother if they made him, because that's part of the Harlem Heat tag team, but it didn't come with his brother. They only made him in a basic. And then we have Mr. Perfect with his towel, of course. I do have different figures of him as well, but because in different eras, he belongs to WCW, and then WWF at that time, and then also NWO, and just a different stable. So I'm looking to customize some of him so it could fit in that stable as well. So this is right here. This is a custom Macho Man. The body that I used was Bad News Barrett, or one of them as well, because it fits the Macho Man body type. The only thing I changed was the head, and then the arms as well. So it looks a pretty cool figure. And then we have Perry Saturn, pretty cool Jack specific figure. I think that's from the WWF days, but I think it does the job as far as WCW days as well. I don't know if I forgot these, but we'll go back to them. Eric Guerrero. This is the Target exclusive Hall of Champions Eric Guerrero. Now it comes with the belt, the awesome cruiserweight belt with him as well. I think that figure captures who he was at that time. Awesome figure. And then we have part of the Steiner brothers in the back there as well. So that shirt, that jacket just completes it. Anytime I can get accessories with additional shirts, which is awesome. We'll move on up to the Booker T here. This is the Jack specific, actually, with his WCW or WWE days. But again, like I said, I wanted to add him to this part because I already had him in the Attitude Era time frame. Not much articulation as far as the hands or anything else, but it does the job. And then we have Billy Kidman. Pretty cool figure. You know, not the most impressive, but he was part of WCW, so add him on there. And then we have Arn Anderson. This is one of the 4-pack Horsemen figures, I believe. I do have all 4 of them. I'm just not sure where they are at the moment. They are on display here, but not together. This is probably one of my favorite ones here. This is a custom Triple H body, Lex Luger base figure. Made that a couple days ago, actually. And then we have Raven. I like about that Raven because I think it's complete as far as his accessory, his jacket, everything. The Punisher, that's a pretty cool figure. And then our first Ultimate Warrior of many. Obviously, that's not from his WCW days, but that's one of the ones that I want to put on there as well. Then we'll move on up to the Macho Man. This is the Mattel one with all the accessories. I remember that's one of the first figures that I bought brand new at Walmart. That was pretty cool. And then we have DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. That jacket, I think I have his regular jacket, but that jacket that he's wearing, that vest, I should say, it did come in with the Jax figure, but it was, the detail on that is awesome. By the way, if any of these figures that you want me to review individually, just let me know. I can definitely do that as well. Take one individually as well. Right now, obviously you can tell I'm just going through like a little brief, because if I take my time on each of these, this would be like a 3-hour video. But we got DDP, and then we have another Stinger here. Basic. I got this one from Toys R Us from back when they were still open. Awesome figure. It's a basic, but I think it does the job as far as his multiple stages, Surfer, California, all that kind of thing. And then we'll have a Razor Ramon WCW one. That vest right there goes to DDP. But I do have other vests that I can include with them as well. So yeah, that was my WCW collection figures. Obviously, these are all small stables that I have here so far. These are just ones stuck out to me, or the ones I thought like are worth mentioning, or I mean, I should say worth displaying. I do have maybe others that are like, all right. So we'll move on to the last top of the stables here as well. Is the NWO, the New World Order, perhaps one thing that changed wrestling. So from the left to right, we'll start with Lex Luger here. This is that Build-A-Figure basic Lex Luger. I do need to customize him. I don't really like, I mean, he does the job as far as, you know, having a body for Lex Luger, but I think if we customize it for an elite Triple H or something, it would do a great job as far as being able to articulate and make him more buffer. And then we have one of my favorite customs. This is I think this is one of my first customs that I made of any figure, and this is the Eric Bischoff custom. I believe I used the Dean Ambrose body, pants, and then shirt. You can see, I don't know if you can still see the Dean Ambrose shirt, kind of his shirt there. And then the vest that I got there was from one of the J&J security. I just took that vest off, cut it right down the middle, added to him. And then the arms, I used the J&J security arms, took the arms off and put them on there as well. I got this idea from Wrestling Hero Figs. That's how you customize Eric Bischoff. And that head there, I got that from one of the Jax figures, but I think it looks pretty cool. I captured that NWO Eric Bischoff. And then we have Hollywood Hulk Hogan Jax specific. I bought this in a lot, and then I decided it came with all accessory and the belt as well. I don't have that belt on display of him, the one that he used to wear around his waist and beat people with it. But I don't have that on display here now. Maybe I should. But that's a cool complete set figure. Zoom in so you can see the details are really awesome. That's one thing about Jax. They make sure they capture the detail all the way up to his boots. And then we'll move on to a hidden what's his name again? Booker T, Toy Biz. Not the best one, but I didn't know where to put him, so I put him there. And then, because he was a leader once. And then we have, starting off with the Kevin Nash, the NWO basic 2-pack. It came with Scott Hall. And I think one of the spray paint there, it came with another Jax figure, so I just put it in his hand. Looks pretty cool. Captures who he is. And then we'll move on this side here. We have the NWO Scott Hall Toy Biz. I think it covers the All-Stars wearing the black and white attire. I do believe I have that one in the Ringside exclusive, which I'll show you all as well in my mock collection video. Moving up, we have another Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That one's not the best one. Up top there is not the best one as well, but I think it does a job making that stable, because that stable was huge, if you recall. So I mean, the more people I can add in there, the better. So moving on up, we have an X-Pac in the back there. This is Jax specific X-Pac. And then we have a Toy Biz Scott Steiner. That's the one I'm looking for, actually. Is Scott Steiner. I will go and way by him because I don't have him in the Jax or any other figure, so maybe I'll customize them. And then moving on up here, we have a Hollywood Hulk Hogan sign, or signs on his pants there. That's awesome. That's one thing Toy Biz did a pretty good job at, is capturing the likeness of the figures, their attire. So that's pretty cool. And I think that's the first tan one we've gotten as well, as you can see from his different variants. We have a Stinger. I think most of the Toy Biz figures, they did some kind of move or something kind of similar to the Hasbro ones, where you squeeze the legs, the arms, or whatever it may be. They did some kind of move. And then we have Buff Bagwell. That's the only one I have from him as well, but I think it does suffice, so I just put a NWO shirt on him. And then we have the Giant. That's awesome. I think that figure is complete. It did come with that cloth shirt. I'm not sure what else is missing, but that's from his WCW days with the NWO. And then we'll move on to the NWO Jax specific Scott Steiner, the black and white attire. There's another variant of figure that I have here. So that's a Jax specific one. Awesome figure. The head scan is awesome. It captures who he is at that time. And then we have I think I customized the legs actually of Macho Man with that right there. Got that from Johnny Mundo, or Johnny, whatever you want to call him. And then I added that shirt. It's a basic, but I added that shirt on him, customized. That looks pretty awesome. And then we have that Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, the bad guy, NWO with a 2-pack of Kevin Nash. So that was my NWO set. Awesome. Like I say, it's not complete, obviously, because they had a huge stable at one point. It got too big, so they separated to NWO red and black. But I think I covered the basics as far as capturing all the main members. I know I'm missing one or two here and there, but those were my stables: NWO, DX, WCW, and NWO. So now we'll move on to the flashbacks.